So hi Sofia, and nice to meet you, and thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So let's dive into the first question. So very honest opinion: are PR agency useful to journalists, and if yes, how?
Well, in my opinion, PR agencies should be best friends of journalists because we're always looking for some hot stories or for the sources. We're always looking for the sources. So even I sometimes write to multiple PR agencies and say, I'm writing about this. Can you help me? Do you have sources for this? Who can comment on it?
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty general practice when journalists reach out to PR agencies, and PR agencies usually really happy when we are reaching out. So it also covers some targets and KPIs from your side.
Yes.
I think there should be like a nice relationship, and definitely we appreciate PRs who reach out to us with news, especially with embargoes or some juicy gossip about the industry because that's
Sure.
what people want to
Yeah.
hear. So, in my opinion, there is a relationship, and it should be mutually respected. Some PR agencies neglecting it, but I think if you work together and you become best friends and you get the best coverage you ever imagined, and
Everyone is
I think
happy.
that's it.
Okay, so thank you. And going to the second question, when it comes to startups, what really makes you raise an eyebrow and say, okay, this pitch, this new is worthy my time? And what are the most common mistakes on the other side that you usually find in PR pitches?
So first of all is a headline. Maybe like I think everyone knows about it, but we receive about 200 emails per day, and if the headline is not that catchy, we obviously wouldn't open it. We still go through them eventually, but not as timely as it could get. So I would say first thing you should work on in your pitches is a headline. So it's catchy, it's timely news like embargo,
Sure.
news, and
Anticipation.
put some number in the headline because we like the numbers, or some catchy phrase, but don't be like AI everything because we're trying to like avoid the AI buzz as well. And then the mistakes I mostly see, it's not like the first mistake, it's not writing the name of the journalist correctly or sending the pitch that was referenced to another media, which
Okay.
is, we find it funny, but sometimes it's like ridiculous. Then maybe the lack of bullet points and explaining what
Okay.
actually a company does, because now with the AI, ML, etc., the technology is kind of complicated, and if you can't explain it in simple language to a journalist, then you probably can't explain it to customers,
Sure.
etc. Because some journalist doesn't have not journalistic, the technical
Yeah.
background, or they didn't study business, etc. Like for me, I studied business administration and did MBA in marketing, so I know how all these things work, and for me it's easier to understand.
Of
But some
course.
journalists don't have such background, so I think they find it pretty much harder. Um, and other mistakes is, I would say, leaving the pitch to AI to write it.
Yeah.
I mean, we all use AI now for writing, etc. But as a journalist, we can see when it's like AI structure
Yes, it's
or
pretty
something
clear.
like that, or the weird words you use, etc. So I think it's better not to do it. I mean, yes, it like makes your pitch look prettier, but I think when it comes like from your own words and genuine connection, it's like much better, and it will have like greater like results that journalists actually answer to you, etc. And then always, I would say, start the pitch with a problem and how the company
Okay.
solves it, the pain point, and why should I care? Like, why should I write about this company, etc.
So
I
the
guess it
problem.
answers your question, but if you have
Yes. Yeah.
more
No. No.
follow-up questions, feel free to ask.
Yes, I was just curious. So the problem solution formula really works.
I mean, for me, like I'm always curious about other companies what they do, and if they don't catch my attention in first sentences during the pitch, I probably wouldn't read it, or I would still read the pitch but not like reply. So I think the first like two lines are the most important ones.
So I know it's very subject to each one's opinion, but how long do you think a pitch should be at maximum?
I don't think it should be long. I think there is like a golden standard
Yeah.
of the pitch, like 100 to 200 word stops.
Okay.
But I think it shouldn't be like this much.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
should be
A
like
press release. Okay. Okay, so thank you. Let's go to the third question. What do you think should a startup or a company should know if they want to get featured in an international outlet, like, for example, tech funding news? Do you think there is an approach that works better when trying to break this outside the local market? Are there any advices you'd like to give to founders and PRs, of course?
For tech funding news, personally, like we focus on diversity. And what do we mean by diversity? It's not that you need like founders have from the beginnings have to have like really female founders, diverse team there. We also cover startups who are just male founders, but they work on the diversity, bring women to the leadership team or hire foreigners or someone like that. We also prioritize it because I don't think any media does it so far. So we try to embrace it and show that tech news it's not only white males. So we expand on this topic and we also prioritize, I think, the female leadership, interesting stories like talent in a broader concept, like what it means for the industry, why should you care, etc. But of course, we also cover the big US news like Klarna, for
Yeah,
example,
of
recently
course. You
is it
can't miss
going
that. Yeah.
bankrupt or is it doing IPO?
Okay.
So, like that. And
Okay.
on
Yeah.
the general media landscape,
Yeah.
I think it's the same as the pitch strategy. It should be like interesting topic for journalists. The best way is like to look what journalists was writing about in the previous few days. Like, is it aligning? Is it like AI, finance focus, etc. And then just craft it to the focus of the journalist. So.
Okay, okay, very, very clear and very useful. So we are at the fourth question. Other than tech funding news, of course, which is at the top, what are the must-have outlets or newsletter, of course, for a tech company or a startup nowadays, considering what's happening in the tech journalism scenario with TechCrunch and everything going on?
Well, I can't recommend other media because of our the policies, etc. But you should follow Tech Funding News. We have also a newsletter
Yeah.
every day, and we also just launched a weekly newsletter where it's like just a summary of top stories of the week. So I think it's also a nice format. As for the newsletters, I can say you can follow Strictly VC. It's a Substack newsletter which just summarizes what's going on in the industry.
Okay.
Then we follow Morning Brew.
Okay.
It's just, I would say, a broader perspective on the news.
Okay.
It's not limited to startups and VC environment, but you can also see what is people are talking right now. So it's nice. Then there's like a lot of newsletters from VC funds like Y Combinator or A16Z. So that one as well. But there's also like a trend, I think, on LinkedIn, like a lot of journalists and editors or just LinkedIn influencers starting their own newsletters. So you can get swamped into newsletters, but I think if you select like 3 or 4, you should be good to go.
So do you think that newsletters are gaining space alongside with, mainstream tech outlets and VC media outlets and everything?
I think newsletter is like a good way to grasp information if you don't have time to read everything at one place. If you're interested in the news, you can follow like us or Strictly VC, which like literally says what's going on, and there is also like links to the articles which you can just click and see. So I think it's pretty convenient format for people who don't have time now. So
Okay, so we are coming to an end, and quick question to wrap things up. What are the 3 things that every startup should have ready before reaching out to a journalist to really make a difference?
So first of all, pictures.
Okay.
In horizontal format always, because like a lot of pitches we get, they come without pictures. When we ask for pictures, there is really either really bad ones, or they never arrive at us, so we never cover the story. So picture is like really important to visualize the story. And for us, for example, we prioritize the team pictures to show the diversity of the team, etc.
Okay.
But for other outlets, maybe they would be just fine with a product if it is like SaaS product, or is it available, etc. But usually when founders or startups don't send the pictures, some companies, media outlets use the stock images, and I think it doesn't like represent the story fully. It's just like a random picture in the story. So I think it's always better to show the team, the founders who built it, etc. Then I would say another thing for founders is to be able to explain the technology. I know some people can be geeky, and if you can't explain it, like as one of my teachers in my university told me, if you can't explain it to 4-year-old children, how would
or to your grandmother?
Yeah, or to your grandmother, how would you expect other people to get you?
Yes,
As
that's
a
very
reference,
true.
he used like, if you can't explain to milkman in Kansas, then you are not going to be covered.
I will use that with my clients. It's very strict to the point.
Yeah, and then I think to get the relevant statistics about the industry, about the product, I think just market research, but we're also like covering the stories, why it matters for the market now, what should you care. For example, all my stories start with a market problem and solution. I mean, it's just my style, but I think it's always better to have understanding of the market so you can operate with this data. So just have a clear vision and explanation, picture, and you
and
have
then
everything.
have something newsworthy, I will add. Okay,
Yeah, of course.
this is like the basis, but it's not always so easy to get, to find out. So Sofia, thank you very much. I don't know if there is anything else you'd like to add or to say.
I think I covered everything from my side. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, yes, so thank you. We will keep on sending you press releases and anything, hoping to be, newsworthy and interesting, and to have everything that you just listed. So thank you. That's all. Thank you very much.